G'day, I'm Darren Yates, hardware writer for Australian PC User Magazine, and this month we're going to take a look at the three basic PC sound options. The first of those options is the audio built into most of today's motherboards. Here we're looking at the back of an Intel SR440BX Pentium 3 computer, and as we zoom in you can see the 3.5mm sockets on the back of the computer. Now if we have a look at them, at the bottom we have the microphone in port, next followed by the line input and the speaker out port. Now the way that you would use these is that you would connect a dynamic microphone to the mic input, you would connect a hi-fi stereo VCR or cassette deck to the line input port, and you can connect your computer speakers or your own hi-fi system to the speaker out port. In general, the analog audio quality of most motherboards is basically the worst you'll find. That's because sensitive analog circuitry and digital data paths don't really mix. They generally give an SNR or signal to noise ratio of about 75 dB on average, with a total harmonic distortion or THD of around 0.05%. That's reasonable, but it's nowhere near CD standard. The next most common option is the PCI expansion slot sound card. This is Creative Labs' Sound Blaster Live card. The main board here houses all of the audio and data control functions, while the little daughter board here allows you to capture and play digital audio direct from a digital source such as a DVD player or DAT recorder. Now you can see on the retaining brackets that there are sockets galore here, so let's point them out and have a look and see what they do. Looking at the main card first, here at the top we have the line input port, followed by the mic input. Now the next two sockets, all of them are 3.5mm sockets. These two here are the two output levels, the two line outputs. These are stereo and allow you to have up to 4 output channels running at once for what's called quadraphonic sound, quad meaning 4. Using these you could set up a front and rear pair of speakers for surround sound for your PC's DVD-ROM drive and watch DVD movies. The last socket here is generally known as the joystick port. However, with the right cable and adapters, you can use this as a MIDI port. MIDI stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface, and if you have a MIDI keyboard or instrument, you can record your keystrokes or notes digitally into your PC. Now, having a look at the daughter board, the digital input at the top here, this one here, is a Creative proprietary port and houses both digital input ports and output ports in the one cable. Now, these two next ports are RCA sockets, but they're the SPDIF in and out ports, and they're designed to meet the Sony Philips digital interface standard. Now the way that you would use these, for example, is that you would connect the SPDIF out to a digital surround speaker system. The PC then sends the digital audio out to the speaker system where it is decoded and turned back into analog audio. The SPDIF is the ideal way to record audio in from a digital source such as a DAT recorder. The last two connectors here are the MIDI in and MIDI out again, but these are using PS2 connectors. Audio quality here is around about 85 dB to signal noise ratio and around 0.01 THD. It's not quite CD quality, but it's certainly better than most motherboards. The last option, and the least common at the moment, is the external sound card like this Creative Blaster XDigi. This is much easier to install than a PCI expansion slot card, because all you have to do is connect it to your PC via the USB cable, and that means you can also connect it up to a notebook PC as well. One of the things I really like about it though is that you don't even need a PC at all. You can connect the XDigi to the digital audio out port of your standalone DVD player, connect it up to your own hi-fi system and enjoy Dolby digital sound. The XDigi is also a far more sophisticated sound card as well. Having a look at the front here, we can see it's got two optical ports here, a digital in and a digital out. Again, you'd use these to connect up high-end audio equipment and DVD players to transfer audio digitally. As we've seen before, the next three ports should be fairly familiar to you by now. We have line in, microphone in and headphone out. The XDigi also has a microphone level control plus a master control. Now the difference between these two controls is that the mic control is an analog potentiometer, or POP, whereas the master control level is just a digitally controlled switch. After that, there's Creative's own multi-speaker system, or CMSS, which turns stereo into something resembling multi-channel sound. Now, if we have a look at the back, now it's the first three ports on the left, the ones that you're going to make most use of. Here we have, they're all 3.5mm stereo sockets here. The first one handles the centre channel and the subwoofer. Well, it should really be called the low frequency effects, or LFE channel. Next we have the two rear channels, and after that the two front channels. The next socket is digital out, but it's a proprietary standard by Creative to work with their speakers, so it's not really useful, unfortunately, for anything else. However, next to it we've got the digital input, and this is the standard SP DIF, or Sony Philips digital interface format, and it's a standard RCA socket. So if you connect up the digital out from your DVD player, as we said before, you can connect it straight in here. The next two sockets are MIDI out and MIDI in. Now, these are 5-pin DIN sockets, and that's a standard format for most musical instruments, particularly keyboards, to use. After that we have the standard Type B USB port, which connects to your PC, and the 12-volt DC and power supply socket. Overall, the sound quality here is very good. It's approaching 100 dB signal noise ratio, and the total harmonic distortion is less than 0.01% A-weighted, and I'd call that CD quality. However, the thing to remember is just because a sound card can capture audio at the CD rate of 44.1 kHz sampling with 16-bit stereo, doesn't mean that it's a CD quality card. Of course, with DVD and home theatre now becoming so popular, the line between home entertainment and the PC is steadily blurring as the two merge and become one. Consumer-priced PC audio still has a long way to go in my book, but it already has come a long way since the early days of the 8-bit Sound Blaster card in the late 80s. But now, combined with sophisticated audio software, you can achieve some amazing effects just with your average PC.